The Secret Unveiled. In the prosperous kingdom of No, Motsi Obi was a man of great wealth and integrity. His businesses flourished, and his generosity toward the less fortunate earned him admiration throughout the land. Married to the beautiful and graceful Neoma, their life together seemed perfect. They had a son, Chima, who was the apple of their eye. To all who saw them, Motsi Obi's family appeared to be the embodiment of success and happiness. But behind closed doors, trouble was brewing, a secret that would unravel everything Motsi Obi had built, threatening the very foundation of his family.
Kindly subscribe to our channel Chukwudi Alalar Studio at Chukwudi Alalar and turn on the notification bell to enable you to be notified of our subsequent stories. Thank you for subscribing. Now, let us proceed.
Motsi Obi's business ventures required him to travel frequently, often leaving Neoma and Chima at home for days or weeks at a time. Though she loved her husband, Neoma found herself lonely in his absence. She missed the intimacy and companionship they once shared before Motsi Obi's responsibilities grew. The loneliness gnawed at her, and in that void, her eyes turned toward Emeka, the young and handsome driver Motsi Obi had hired. Emeka had a charm about him. He was diligent, respectful, and undeniably attractive. Over time, Neoma began to notice more than just his good manners. What started as small talk after Motsi Obi's departure evolved into lingering glances and subtle flirtation. At first, Neoma tried to dismiss the feelings she felt stirring inside her. She was a married woman, and Emeka was just a driver. But the more she saw him, the harder it became to ignore the attraction. One evening, when Motsi Obi was away on another business trip, Neoma found herself alone with Emeka. As they shared a cup of tea in the kitchen, their hands brushed against each other. That small, seemingly innocent moment set in motion something neither could stop. They began meeting secretly whenever Motsi Obi was away, each encounter drawing them closer to crossing a line they could never uncross. Their affair had been progressing for a few months when the first close call occurred. One afternoon, Motsi Obi returned home earlier than expected from a business trip, eager to surprise Neoma. As he approached the house, he noticed Emeka's car parked in the driveway. Though he found it strange, he didn't think much of it. He assumed Emeka was there to run some errands for Neoma or to check on the house in his absence. Quietly entering the house, Motsi Obi heard soft voices coming from the kitchen. As he drew nearer, he recognized the laughter of his wife and Emeka's voice in conversation. His brow furrowed. Why was Emeka still here? Curiosity piqued, Motsi Obi stepped closer, moving silently toward the kitchen entrance. As soon as Emeka saw Motsi Obi's figure looming in the doorway, he froze and hid himself inside the cupboard. Neoma quickly turned to face her husband, a wave of panic washing over her as she realized how compromising the situation appeared. Neoma, Motsi Obi said, his tone carrying an edge of suspicion. Who were you talking to? Neoma's mind raced for an excuse. Oh, I was just talking to myself while cooking, she stammered, forcing a smile. You know how I get sometimes. Motsi Obi's gaze shifted between his wife and Emeka, but Neoma quickly pulled him away, offering him a drink and asking about his trip in an attempt to divert his attention. Though he let the moment pass without confrontation, Motsi Obi couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. That seed of doubt, however small, had been planted. As the affair between Neoma and Emeka deepened, their attentiveness to Chima began to wane. Their secret meetings became more frequent and reckless. One scorching afternoon, when Motsi Obi was away on yet another business trip, Neoma and Emeka met in the house, completely oblivious to Chima's whereabouts. One sunny afternoon, Chima was excited to ride his new bicycle around the garden. With his mother, Neoma, distracted by her conversation with Emeka, Chima pedaled quickly, testing his speed and skill. He zoomed across the compound, laughing as the wind whipped through his hair. As he rode closer to the edge of the garden, Chima spotted a large tree near the boundary. Wanting to make a sharp turn, he gripped the handlebars tightly and leaned to one side. However, he misjudged the distance, and before he knew it, the bicycle swerved uncontrollably. Chima panicked, his little feet unable to brake in time. With a loud crash, Chima collided head-on with the sturdy trunk of the tree. He was thrown off the bicycle and hit the ground hard, scraping his arms and knees. The sound of the crash startled Neoma and Emeka, who rushed over in alarm. Chima lay on the ground, wincing in pain as tears filled his eyes. Neoma's heart raced as she knelt beside him, frantically checking for injuries. "Chima, are you okay?" she asked, her voice trembling with fear. Emeka helped lift the boy, guilt washing over them both for neglecting him in their secret distraction. Months passed, and despite the close calls, Neoma and Emeka grew bolder in their secret trysts. During preparations for Chima's birthday celebration, Neoma found herself overwhelmed by the festivities and slipped away to the garden for a moment of solitude. Emeka, tasked with managing transportation for the guests, followed her discreetly. They found a secluded spot near the garden shed, where they spoke in hushed tones. Neoma, emboldened by the thrill of their affair, whispered, "Meet me here later tonight, after the party." Neither noticed that Chief Amodi, one of Motsi Obi's closest business associates, had wandered into the garden to take a phone call. Hidden among the trees, Chief Amodi overheard their conversation, though he couldn't make out every word. However, the closeness between them and the intimate tone of their voices raised his suspicions. Later that evening, Chief Amodi approached Motsi Obi cautiously. "My friend," he began, "I don't want to alarm you, but I saw something earlier that I think you should know about. I saw Neoma and Emeka speaking in the garden. They seemed rather close." Motsi Obi laughed, dismissing his friend's concerns. "Neoma is always friendly with the staff. It's probably nothing, but I appreciate your concern." Despite his outward nonchalance, the seed of doubt planted earlier continued to grow. Motsi Obi began to watch the interactions between his wife and Emeka more closely. One day, when Motsi Obi was away at a conference, Neoma invited Emeka into her bedroom for the first time. The risk thrilled them both, and they believed no one would disturb them. However, they did not know that Motsi Obi's younger brother, Ike, had been sent by Motsi Obi to pick up some important documents from the study. As Ike entered the house, he found it unusually quiet. He walked down the hallway and passed by Neoma's bedroom door. From inside, he heard faint whispers and laughter. Suspicious, Ike paused outside the door, his hand hovering, ready to knock. Before he could, Chima came running down the hallway, calling for his mother. The noise startled Ike, and he turned to greet his nephew, momentarily forgetting his suspicions. When Neoma opened the door moments later, she greeted Ike with a strained smile, feigning surprise. "Oh, Ike. I didn't know you were coming. I'm just here to get some documents for Motsi Obi," Ike replied, his suspicions fading as Neoma directed him to the study. Little did he know how close he had come to uncovering the truth. Not long after Chima's birthday, the boy fell seriously ill and required a blood transfusion. Motsi Obi immediately volunteered, but to his shock, the doctors informed him that his blood type did not match Chima's. Confused and alarmed, Motsi Obi demanded further tests, but the results remained the same: Chima was not his biological son. Devastated, Motsi Obi confronted Neoma, who could no longer hide the truth. With tears streaming down her face, she confessed to the affair with Emeka and revealed that Chima was the result of their relationship. Crushed by the betrayal, Motsi Obi banished both Neoma and Emeka from his home. Chima, though innocent, was left confused and heartbroken, his world shattered by the revelation. Moral of the story: no matter how well hidden a secret may be, it will eventually come to light. Deceit and betrayal, when left unchecked, can destroy even the strongest of foundations. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Kindly support us by sharing, liking, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube channel at Chukwudi Alola. Thanks once again.